Guys, welcome to the I Love CVille Show. It's Jerry Miller. It's Monday. Thank you kindly for joining us here on the I Love CVille Network. We try to spotlight the best of Charlottesville, Virginia through this program. Our guests today, Colleen and Kerry Rock, undoubtedly epitomize the best of Charlottesville, Virginia. We will welcome them to the program in T-minus 30 to 40 seconds to spotlight them as people and to spotlight their most recent initiative, Do Good Cville, which is giving Charlottesville so many opportunities to improve. They're focused on leaving their footprint in our community better and more impactful than when they first arrived, and they're doing a tremendous job of that. We'll thank some of the clients that make the show possible. We are an advertising agency here at VMV Brands and I Love CVille, and two of our favorite clients where we represent all aspects of their brand are Interstate Pest and Service Companies and Dr. Scott Wagner of Scott Wagner Chiropractic and Sports Medicine. We'll start first with Interstate. The business started in 1969 with the first generation of the company. Mr. Robert Wells, who has since passed, launched the company in 1969 with his personal truck and sweat equity. He would use payphones across Charlottesville to call his clients and customers. Today, Interstate has 4 generations of family running the company, almost 100 employees, a Commonwealth-wide working footprint, and undoubtedly social entrepreneurs that are focused on leaving their footprint in a better place than they first arrived, just like Scott Wagner. Our friend, our client, we're proud to work alongside his brand. Chiropractic care, sports medicine, physical therapy, Dr. Wagner has your back. Judah Wickhauer is the director of the show. Give it a like and a share on any of the streams you're watching on, just like Stephanie Philippe has done. We see you, Dave Warwick. Welcome to the program. Stephanie Wagman watching the show as we speak. 3 different states watching the show. Let's go to the studio camera and let's welcome the Rocks to the program. Hello.
Thank you. Hi.
How are you?
Nervous.
Yeah?
Good. We're good.
You're going to hit a grand slam. The first question we ask everybody, we try to humanize, personalize, and localize our guests. So ladies first. Colleen Rock.
Yes.
What makes you tick? What are you all about?
Oh gosh, I think that's a big question. There's a lot of things I'm all about. Definitely passionate about animals. Always been a field I knew I wanted to work in. I'm very fortunate from a young age all the way on. So I've been a licensed vet tech for about 12 years and
Nice.
Working at different vet hospitals. Family, friends, community is definitely something that's very important. Something that Carrie's very important.
Carrie.
Kind of what we've been doing with some of this charity work and things like that is definitely something that I'm very passionate about.
Can someone who works in animal care have a favorite kind of dog?
Yes,
You
absolutely.
do have a favorite?
Yeah, well, it might be better to say I have unfavorites.
Okay.
I have a lot of favorites. There are a lot of
Okay.
good breeds out there, but there are a lot of breeds I would never want to own.
How about when the German Shepherd comes to work? Is that one that makes you a little
Little
trepid?
Yep. There's
Okay.
some great German Shepherds out there. I don't want to offend any German Shepherd owners, but there are some terrible German Shepherds out there as well.
I have 2 myself, and I'm speaking from firsthand experience. When we bring
Yeah.
them to the vet, everyone is terrified when we bring them there.
See, yeah, they have that maybe they're okay, maybe they're not.
Totally get it. Totally get it. This gentleman is Kerry Rock, your husband. Neil Williamson, welcome to the show. Thank you for liking the program. Kerry, we were finding out off air. We've known each other since 2008. Yeah. I'm going to embarrass you a little bit here. In 2008, I could tell you were super committed to the community. I could tell you were super committed to, you're just mindful of things. You have a military service background that I'm going to ask you to spotlight. I'm going to start with the entry question. Who is Kerry Rock and what makes him tick? And we'll get a deeper dive from there.
Well, first thing, most important, she makes me tick.
I went there first, thanks.
Our future daughter, AJ, is the next most important thing in our life. But then after that, it's the veteran community, and it's the Charlottesville community as a whole, and how I can do something more with my life than just party and hang out, and how I can give my time and money and effort to make the world better.
I love it. Talked about your military service background for everybody.
Went into the service in 2000, Army veteran. Went in October, served with the 173rd Airborne. Went into Iraq in 2003. Made it home. Mom was really happy about that one. and then served with 10 Special Forces for a year and a half, then came out after 5 years of service to Charlottesville.
I love it. Veterans Day. I was
Pretty good day
excited
for this
about-
interview.
Yeah, one of the reasons, our team on the first and second floor here, we were proud to have you. We thank you for your service. What does Veterans Day mean to a veteran?
Aside from all the free food, Veterans Day is a good day of community for the veterans themselves. There's the whole separation of Memorial Day and Veterans Day, and some people get that different. So where Veterans Day is remembering your brotherhood, your sisterhood, the family of the veterans, and the community remembering them, while Memorial Day is those that passed and gave the ultimate sacrifice. So I've already this morning had multiple Facebook messages and texts from other veteran buddies that, just remembering you. You haven't talked to them in a year or two, but it's just like you haven't missed any time. So it's Veterans Day to me is just reconnecting and just holding fast to the community of brothers and sisters in arms.
Well said. Let's give Kerry Rock some props here. Give him a like and a share. Tyler Payne watching the show now. What's up, Tyler? What's up, T-Payne? Angela Kuhn. I might be messing her last name up. She's watching right now. Give it a like and a share. I'm going to lower this a little bit and get it a little closer to you, Colleen. And this is what I want to know. This is the $87 million question.
All right.
How did you guys meet? And I ask you, and then I want to hear your story. And somewhere in the middle
there's two versions here.
Okay. Let me hear your version first.
I mean, we agree on the first part. He was my IT guy, basically.
Okay.
So where I previously was employed, that company had hired his company to be our IT. So that was how we met.
Okay.
We finally actually connected, though, over Match.com.
Nice.
Was where we kind of both realized we were single.
Okay.
And started dating from there.
Okay. So what is your version?
So here's the real version.
Okay.
So yes, I was working for NWG Solutions and Virginia Veterinary Specialists, who you were working for at that point. We became their IT guy.
Uh-huh.
Started working, and one day I found myself in the office with this beautiful woman.
Okay.
Clickety-clack on the keyboard, fixing something. Like, hey, I think she's single. I know I'm single. And it's like, hey, so, I hear you got a dog. I've got a dog, too. I'm taking my dog for a walk this Thursday. My friends are getting together. We're doing this. She's like, well, I'm actually house sitting. Okay, cool. So keep clickety-click-click-clack. I was like, hey, on Friday, there's the concert down at the Pavilion. Everyone's going to be out there. Friends trying to make it like, hey,
common ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not awkward, nothing like that.
Yeah.
It's like, actually, I'm dog sitting that day, too. Like, okay. Clickety-clack. 5 minutes later, hey, it's Saturday. There's this other event going on. I don't even remember what I said at that point. It's like, no, I'm babysitting at that point. I'm like, all right, third time, I got the message. 6 months later, I see on Match, just like, see she's there and just happen to just mess like, hey, is this you? Strange enough, a computer at her office broke the next day.
A computer did break.
Really? After you made the connection on Match?
Yes. So he was in the office the next day.
Intentional breakage? Is that what you're alluding to?
I responded to the call. Somehow they only asked for me to come fix the computer. I'll leave it how it is. God, whatever the universe works in whatever way it does.
Serendipitous.
But
Yes.
I have a wonderful, beautiful, amazing, sexy
The rest
wife.
is history, right?
Yeah, it is.
Did you think in the beginning with the dog sitting and babysitting, it's like the washing hair excuse?
Oh,
is that what you're
I
thinking?
thought I was getting every
So-
which way blown off.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Okay.
the bio at his work, because I had checked, still said that he was married.
Okay.
So I don't
So
re-
you had some confusing vibes out
I
there.
don't
did-
remember
I
the
didn't know that.
conversation, but I
Yeah.
think in my mind at that point,
Skeevy dude.
Yeah.
what is he doing? No, I don't know.
We
I
got
don't
that
remember.
website fixed real fast.
was gonna
After I found out about that one, they rebranded and fixed that.
Give it a like, give it a share, guys. Talk to me about the first date. What was the first date?
It was
Chick-a-pig.
Chick-a-pig
Yeah, nice. At Cardinal Hall?
at Cardinal Hall.
Okay.
Back in the day when the Cardinal Hall did Tuesday Chick-a-Peg nights, when Brian was launching the
Remember
game.
well, Brian Calhoun.
Yep.
Yeah.
When he was launching that game every Tuesday night, you could go down to Cardinal Hall and they'd have tables full of Chick-a-Peg. And our first date was full of beer, gluten-free beer for you.
Yep.
And poop jokes.
Jokes.
I
And
love it.
The rest is
So it's perfect for you, Karen.
works.
What do you
So we
think
knew,
that-
like, as long as I could make a poop joke, he was like, all right, we're okay.
Me too. Me too.
It's fine.
So that day goes well. When did you guys start realizing, okay, you know what? there's some foundation here. There's some momentum here with us. Think we may have something ticking?
I mean, I feel like it was pretty fast. I don't know. I feel like we were both at that point in our lives where we could we both kind of knew where we were at career-wise. We both kind of knew what we wanted personally, and it just clicked.
Yeah, it was after
was
1 month,
like
3, 4, 5 dates, and it was just like,
Yeah.
this feels right.
We
This feels
kind of
good.
made that commitment at that point, that we would be exclusive. And then from there, I think I moved in like
6 months.
6 months later.
Nice. I like
The big
it.
thing
Yeah.
with this for me, when I knew that she was the one, is when we had our first fight.
Okay.
We disagreed on different political things.
Okay.
And normally, if I hadn't been in a fight in a relationship before, so I'm like, oh, we're in a fight. I guess this is over now. But our communication skills grew from that, to where I was able to learn how to like take criticism and give constructive criticism. That's a horrible way to say it, but to fight, but know that she still liked me, and
That we
then-
could disagree, and
Yeah.
that was okay.
Right.
We don't have to agree on all
Huge
of the
part of being a
things
couple.
all of the time.
Yeah.
And then that was like,
And
where
we're
I
not gonna.
I really learned about communication in a relationship from her, and our disagreements, which turned into great debates and great conversations, and it just kept building up the greatness of this relationship.
I love it. I love it. So, who's been in Charlottesville the longest?
He has.
Okay. What encouraged you or influenced you to come to Charlottesville?
A job.
Okay. Okay.
I left the military in 2005.
Okay.
Put my resume out to multiple locations, and then Northrop Grumman, as a contractor,
Yeah.
reached out to me, and I started work at the Ground Intelligence Center in 2005.
How about you?
Same. It was work.
Okay.
I was working as a licensed technician in Denver, and
Okay.
the surgeon that I worked with at the time, him and another doctor were moving out here to start Virginia Veterinary Specialists, and
Cool.
said, "What do you think?" And I was at a point in my life where I was like, "Why not? Try something different."
Such a
So,
baller.
made the move, and here I
This is how
am.
good she is.
Yeah, manifest
9
destiny
years
right there.
later.
You go from Denver to Charlottesville, follow 2 team members to launch a new company.
Yeah.
Walk me through that thinking. That is so pin.
So you don't have to be, as a veterinary technician, there is a schooling, and a lot of states like Virginia require you to be licensed to do certain things. Colorado does not require you to be licensed. So I was really struggling with pay, making a living in Denver. I love it there. It's great, but I was really having a hard time. So I was actually going to school to get out of the field altogether when he approached me. And it was like, well, this is an opportunity that I couldn't really pass up, and to kind of be on the ground level of something starting was a whole new idea and thought, and was really exciting to me. So I was single, and it was like, all right, if I'm going to make a big change, let's do it now. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. When you come to Charlottesville for the first time for work, what was Charlottesville like? Some people have
Difficult.
yeah, because Charlottesville can be cliquish.
It's very
Charlottesville
hard.
has got some folks that have been here for a long time, and have a tendency to mingle with who they know. There's not a lot of people our age in Charlottesville as well.
Back in 2005,
Yeah.
when you and I first started sowing our roots here in Charlottesville, it was difficult. I went about a month and a half, 2 months, where I basically just lived in my apartment at Four Seasons, went to work, went and played pool back in the old school orbits. And you just have to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing with Charlottesville. There are a lot of people that will welcome you, will show you around. You can walk a downtown mall and get lost, and someone will stop and say, "Hey, what are you looking for?" And it's that about Charlottesville that leads into the do good portion too, to where it's like there is a good feeling about this town. You just have to personally be open to it. It's difficult to say, but yeah, you have some cliques, you have some things like that, but there are a lot of great things about this town. But yeah, it took me a little while to find the friend groups, to get in with the people. There were certain social groups that opened up that luckily gave me the pathway to meeting people like you, great entrepreneurs, great young business people, still in their young portion where they're developing it, like Jason Courier and his wife doing Tread CVille. You've got Jimmy Schwartz now, met her through back in the day. Now she's running Picasso Fizz, or Picasso Swig.
Yeah.
We were there last night making
And Fifth Street
blankets.
Station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We spent yesterday, football day, making chunky blankets.
Had a
I
blast.
love it.
And it was just
Had
the
a blast.
greatest thing. Like just spending time together, doing something with our hands, having a good time together.
Sean Thomas giving you some props. He wants to
good.
let you know that he's watching. Help me with this name. Helene Kamara?
Helene
Camara, she's watching. She says, I'm watching. I love you guys. Give it a like, give it a share. I'm going to throw this to you here.
Sure.
This gentleman, in a lot of ways, larger than life.
Yes.
And
I don't know what you're talking
I'm
about.
going to throw this from first hand. Okay. So my wife is a little bit more reserved.
Likewise.
Okay. Very much yin to the yang here.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very patient with me. She knows if we go to a place like Three Notch or walk up and down the mall, it's going to lead to like 10 or 12
Yep.
stop and
Come
chats.
in. I get a lot of like, oh, I've seen you a lot on Facebook.
Right.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, so give me some advice. She's watching right now. Give me some advice. You are essentially married to the mayor of Charlottesville in a lot of ways here. What is that like?
It was very, because I am not a very outgoing person, and you know,
And he is.
when we first started dating, it was the same thing. I'd have to get used to wherever we went, 2 or 3 people at least were going to know him, come up and say hello. In a lot of ways, it's been great for me. I've met a lot of really wonderful people because of it, that I would have never known otherwise, which is wonderful. But I have definitely taught him that like a few nights a week, it's okay to stay home and sit on the couch and do nothing, and just relax.
That's not easy for us.
So it's not. And
Yeah.
he's gotten really good at it. He's gotten a lot better. But it was definitely difficult in the beginning of like kind of it was a little pulling me out of my shell and a little of reining him in, you
Right.
know, kind of finding that balance of like, all right, he needs to go out, he needs some social interaction versus my like, I cannot handle, you know, any more people right now kind of thing.
I love
So-
that. Throw that topic to you. Anywhere you want to go with that.
I think the balance is the best point of that. To where, yes, there were the points where basically every bartender in Charlottesville knew me to where she was just staying home watching dogs. But no, like ever since Colleen and I started hanging out, like I said just earlier this week, we're like, man, I cannot wait to get home on a Saturday night. Let's all cuddle up, watch a movie, be home by 9. I never thought I'd be that guy.
That's okay.
Now, again, I still want to go to First Tap on Thursday at
Yeah.
Three Notch,
Yeah.
or go to Run Club at Random Row and things like that. I still need to be out and about and still see people and whatnot, especially what we're doing with Do Good. But I don't think it was reining in. I think it was just educating me on what's a little more important in life, and the communication, the relationship with us was more important than
love it.
just going out and getting wild.
Your dad's watching right now.
Papa Rock.
Proud to call you a son. Hello, daughter-in-law. Says right now.
Hi, Papa Rock.
Ashley Kunis.
That's my cousin. Yeah.
Watching
Hey.
the program as we speak. Give it a like and a share, just like Jesse Wiseman has done. If you have any kind words that you'd like to relay to them, put it in the chat box and I'll pass it along. How did, I look back in retrospect, very similarities here with us. How did meeting so many different people like you have done, and when you were newer to Charlottesville, and you know, you always struck me as like outgoing. When you got into a room, your energy was like magnetizing, people drawn to you. They knew you were there. You know, people knew you were there. Okay, and I mean that in like incredibly positive way. I enjoyed being around you. How did like that set the foundation for a lot of ways of what you're doing with Do Good Cville, essentially the networking, if you may?
Gotcha. Well, the first time we met, the positivity and whatnot was a lie. This being Veterans Day, it's a good day to bring it up. I was battling a lot of post-traumatic stress disorder from wartime things and whatnot, to where I found myself to be extremely afraid of actually going out in public and in
Really?
large groups and whatnot. It wasn't until one day I realized I was either going to be a victim or I was going to be a victor. And so then I jumped in. Went to Orbits. I went to karaoke nights, went out to Rapture and played pool. And I'd be that guy that would just get the table in the middle of the first floor and just play that table all night. And I'd meet a bunch of people automatically like that. And from that, you know, I found like my fear became my power. But then
said.
through seeing all the people, like meeting you when you were younger and you were doing, what was it, NBC 29?
Yeah.
So sports broadcaster
Yeah.
then trivia guy,
Yeah.
and now mogul like you are, but we have roots as friendship. And all the things we're doing at Do Good Cville have come from the friendship roots that we found in Charlottesville. But yes, people have found like, oh, we've done things with Chris Long Foundation, or we've done things with Jews of Africa. That's great, but that came from the friendships we built here in Charlottesville first.
Well said. Let me follow up on the PTSD that you were experiencing. A lot of courage to say it on air in front of so many people. We have some veterans watching right now as we speak. The crossroads where you were at where you said, I need to go, what was it, from victim to
Victor.
victor? That's beautiful. Talk to me about that crossroads.
It was painful, scary, and weird. But I feel like if I can say it out, maybe there's a veteran out there that's afraid to say that, and they're afraid that, they don't want the social stigma. There is no social stigma. There's just health and happiness nowadays. You're gonna die someday, so let's live happy right now. It was just one where I realized I had limited myself in so many social interactions where like I would be meeting someone great and personal like you. We were having interaction, and someone would just say, shut down, and I'd be afraid. I'd literally be afraid and go into tremors and have to escape the situation. And got to a point where it was limiting me too many times that I needed to just embrace it and battle it and run straight through that wall of fear. And it was terrifying. But it benefited. I would never have met her. I would never have met you. I'd never be here. Do Good Cville wouldn't be here. And then once I found like that worked, then I just kept going. I kept meeting more people, kept doing more things. And then realizing my life had a little bit more purpose than just going out and being the very magnetizing person. You said the bigger than life guy. I can do something with that. And that's where Do Good eventually came. And it was more just a quiet, like, what can I do to help the community? And then we started the first drive I did when we rented out the local. First time I did a brunch is when we rented the Mount, held a brunch for Sarah. After that, we rented out the Main Street Arena back in the days. Another thing for Sarah at that point, I know it was a recurring event, it's just they became good buddies with us. Now we've partnered with Chris Long Foundation, Waterboys. We partnered heavy with The Haven, Ishan Gala Foundation.
Love those guys.
Jews of Africa, providing digital literacy for children in Nairobi right now. It just keeps going. It's gotten bigger than expected, but it feels good to know that your life is doing something bigger than you.
I love that. You offer some perspective here. This guy, you can tell that I'm a fan. This guy, the energy, the momentum, the we're gonna go, that mindset, and how it's impacted your life.
Yeah, I mean, it was...
He's 1,000 miles an hour, guys.
Yes, yeah. Like I said, there was a little bit of I needed to adjust to that, and I think it was great. And it's addictive in some ways. Or for me anyways, I really enjoyed going out and meeting more people and doing these things and seeing what a difference we could make. And so intimidating, certainly, but at the same time, I think it's been a lot of fun. It's been very exciting.
Do Good Cville.
Yeah.
Introduce us.
So, Do Good Cville, we don't really know what to call it. We're sort of calling it a social group because it's right now it's just us and a few close friends that have really helped us make this possible.
I love the name.
And it kind of, it's like if we can do good, we should, and we want to do good for here, for home. We've done some stuff, out there on a bigger scale as well, but especially in the current kind of climate of things, what can we do locally to make an impact? I don't think it's nearly as bad as it seems, or can always be made out to be in the media. So what can we do locally to make people feel good? What can we do to help? What can we do to provide support? And in different ways, whether it's our time, whether it's finding resources, financial, linking, donors and recipients up. It's just kind of a how do we do good and how do we help out kind of thing. And so we've launched this in an effort so that it gets a little awkward sometimes when it's just us coming in like, hey, we just want to do this. People are like, what are you doing? Why? So we felt like we needed to put a name to it and kind of put a face to it, and hopefully get more community involvement as well.
What does Do Good Cville mean to you?
Do Good Cville is a concerted effort. It's instead of my crazy hive mind let's go 1,000 different ways and help everybody. It helps angle it into just a single concerted effort to Charlottesville itself. If you left me to my own devices, I'd try to help every single thing in the world, and it would diminish the abilities that we'd have. The manager here, and I say that in the most loving way.
Some direction?
Oh, she provides all the direction.
Yeah.
I'd be lost without her.
I don't know.
But Do Good Cville, it's a voice for those that think they're not big enough to make a change.
Ooh, nice.
There's some people that feel like, oh, well, I can't donate $1 million. I can't cure cancer. I can't make the biggest splash in the pond. But you can go donate, 2 hours of your time over at Loaves and Fishes, and you can help sort some food, and you can provide like 30, 40 families with some food that they're going to get from that. You can go spend 2 hours on the phones with Sarah, and you can help somebody that's in an era of trauma right now. You can come out to the Haven, cook some food. It's showing people that they're heroes, and they have the capability of being heroes in their own world. And we're nothing special. We're just two people that just see the ability to do some good in our home community now. I call Charlottesville home now after being here 15 years. You now 8, 9 years. We just want to see what we can do to help help our community.
You're getting props from Patricia Toon. Fabulous bartender at Miller's.
Yes, wonderful lady.
Tink, I love you, lady. Kerry and Colleen, congratulations on the baby, she says.
Thank you.
Cindy Yadev.
Yes, my boss's wife.
Please tell them I am so proud of them. Curtis Tyree, Kerry, you rock.
Oh, old school from back on the corner days. I met Curtis when I used to be a bouncer for the Virginian.
Yeah?
He was bouncing at what was Jabberwocky back then. So that's how
Jabberwocky to 3?
Jabberwocky to 3
Yeah.
to, I don't even know. I couldn't follow it after that. After
Right,
that,
right. Stay with me.
I was too old to go to the corner.
Put in perspective what you guys are doing now with Do Good Cville. Give us kind of like an anecdote or an actual tangible production that's happening.
Yeah, so our big event that we started, this will be our 4th annual, is the Winter Wear Drive, which is actually sort of ongoing right now. You can drop donations off either at Timberwood or at Three Notched. And we are having our big kind of cumulative event this Saturday at Three Notched. And that one has been great. We are providing winter wear for the Haven. And the past 2 years, I think we've had extra, and they've had to kind of been able to share with other shelters in the
Nice
area,
problem
which
to have.
is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really, again, another thing, kind of seeing the community come together and provide so much that we have excess, which is great. So yeah, we're excited for that one. That's our big one. We have the Memorial Day.
That one's going to become our actual official event, this coming May. With Do Good, we've put our stakes in with the November event with the Winter Wear Drive benefiting the Haven here in Charlottesville, and in May we'll be doing a Memorial Day event. So one of the groups that we help is Carry the Load. They do a East Coast and West Coast road march where they actually take the flag down from the graveyard at West Point, and they conduct a road march from New York all the way down to Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. May 8th, it's coming through Charlottesville. We traditionally do about 26 miles of a road march to carry the flag by hand through the city and hand it off out in the Keswick area. Now with that happened on May 8th, we're continuing with that on actual Memorial Day. This will be our 3rd year doing this. We go to the local grave sites and we wash the gravestones of the veterans. Now, last 2 years, we've been lucky enough to have Chris Long join us. And they announced, Chris Long Foundation earlier this year announced that they want to partner with us and make it as big as possible. So while we were able to just help one grave area in downtown Charlottesville, we're hoping this coming year we'll be able to maybe hit every single graveyard in Charlottesville with the help of Chris Long and whatnot.
Well, that is beautiful. I'm going to ask you about Chris Long. I'm going to ask you about Waterboys and your experience with Waterboys. I followed it on social. Amazing what you did. First, we'll get some comments coming in from the viewing public. Corey Christensen says these two are absolutely the best. Please say hi to
Hi,
these
Corey.
two from Colo. Is that right? From Colo?
Colorado.
Oh, he's watching in Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. I love it. If
Helene's-
you guys are
Helene's from
outside
Oregon
Charlottesville,
right now.
Central Virginia, put where you're watching in the comment, and I'll
Hi,
relay it to
Corey.
them as well.
No.
Kevin Higgins has this question. He watches the show often. Ooh, we got some comments coming in via DM for you guys as well.
Uh-oh.
Kevin Higgins says, Colleen and Kerry, when did the concept of Do Good Cville hit you? And why? Can you talk about the dynamic between husband and wife and how you complement each other? You kind of done a little bit of that. Throw Kevin's topic to you guys again.
Yeah, so we have been toying with Do Good, probably for about a year.
Yes.
It really, when he did the Conquering Keeley with the Chris Long Foundation, we did a bunch of fundraising that year, and we really enjoyed doing it. and then we at least had an organization to, kind of say, hey, this is who we're working with, that sort of thing. But when it's just a husband and wife approaching different businesses or different organizations, we decided we needed a name to it. So we really only launched Do Good in September of this year. So it's pretty new.
Okay.
But again, we just felt like we needed something for people to kind of go to
like
see
a
what
brand.
we're about.
You need a brand.
We need a brand.
You
Thank
do.
you.
As silly
Yeah.
as it sounds, even with a nonprofit, you can do all the good you want in the world, but it makes such a
It like
difference.
legitimizes it in some ways.
Right.
Like you're managing perception.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
If you go to a business and say, hey, we need a $100 donation, I'm Kerry Rock, I'm Colleen Rock, like, hey, I'm Do Good Cville. Like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
There's a thing.
I love it. I love it. And I love the moniker because I think the brand, picking a moniker like Do Good Cville, it's clear of what you're doing right away. So, like, to your credit, branding genius there.
Thanks.
Because a lot of people pick names where then you need like a tagline or like a strategic marketing effort
Right.
to explain
To
what it's all.
understand it.
Yeah, to understand it.
Yeah.
But you picked. You're a badass.
Here
You
it
picked
is.
a name for
Oh,
the yeah. Props to you.
Marketing mastermind.
This is what we're
right there.
doing. This is it.
So you're getting props from Jen Hoyt, one of the most amazing and selfless couples that I know. Congrats on everything. Ashley Cherix, she's watching from the Ishan Gala
yeah.
Foundation right now. Here's a tough question for you. With so many connections and so many people, and he has such a huge heart,
We
You-
have huge
you
hearts.
do.
how do you narrow the focus to like the Haven? Or how do you narrow the focus to like the Ishan Gala Foundation? You know what I'm saying? Like as opposed to, because Charlottesville, one thing we have a lot of restaurants, we have a lot of breweries, we have a ton of
A
people in
lot.
need and a ton of nonprofits.
Yeah.
You have
A
over
lot of
450 nonprofit
Yeah.
organizations
Yeah.
here.
And
in
there's a
Charlottesville.
small pie,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's been limiting. Like, I don't think we've had to limit so far. I think we've been lucky in that, like, we know we do the Haven event, the winter wear drive every year, and that one's kind of set. Some of them, it's when they reach out, and hopefully with this, if we can build more people, then we can do a little more reaching out as well. But so far, it hasn't felt like we've had to pick or choose or like, and one of the things we've been working on with this is reaching more. And we just had She reach out to us, which was
The
wonderful.
shelter and help and emergency.
And they, had seen kind of what we were doing on Facebook and reach out to us. And that's kind of what we're hoping exactly to happen is now we can reach out to more. And there may get to a point where we have to kind of limit because of this, if it's just us, we can't do all the things all the time, especially with a baby on the way.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't feel like we've had to limit or, turn anything down at this point. I think we're new enough and we've kept small enough so far that we've been able to help out for different events. Now we will get to the point where we're
Yes.
crazy busy, stacked with different events that I have to be like, all right, time out. We're not doing anything for the next, few weeks, sort of take a break. But I don't think we've had to actually say no to anything.
We haven't. And one of the beauties with Do Good Cville right now, with it just being us and 10 of our greatest friends that we can call and like, hey, we got an event. I need 6 people.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have all 10. Like, well, I can do this, I can do this. We haven't had to turn anybody away,
Timber.
but with the smallness of the group right now is the flexibility and mobility we have. We can't raise $10,000 for you today. But, hey, you need people delivering meals? I got you. You need a $1,000 fundraiser within time. We can do
can
that.
do that.
Specific point, Operation Detergent Drop, we did for the Haven. We did a bingo night 2 weeks ago. We ended up raising over $1,500 providing laundry detergent for the Haven for the entire year. With the extra money we got, we were able to get 2 pairs of socks for all the patrons as well. Like nice thermal, thick socks to keep them warm through the winter. So it's little mobile, like hit and runs like that. Again, going with the brand mission saying that you don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be the biggest person in the world to make a difference. You can be Johnny on the street and just saying hi to somebody, getting them a sandwich, listening to them, acknowledging that they're there. You've now made that person's life completely different.
Sarah Rock is watching right now.
Sarah Rock.
She's giving you some props. Katie Williams is watching. Who's Sarah Rock?
That is the most wonderful, well, even par with Casey Rock. sister in the world.
Look at that. He hedged well.
Saved it. Saved
Yes,
it.
I was waiting for big sister. You could have gone
She's
for...
the big sister.
She's the best big sister in the world.
Oh, definitely.
go.
Hands down. Just moved to Texas this past week,
Yeah.
actually.
She's watching in Texas. Katie Williams, welcome to the program. Ashley from the Ishan Gala Foundation has something very nice for you to say. Kerry and Colleen helped me a lot when I started out with the Ishan Gala Foundation. Ishan Gala would love to do something with Do Good Cville again.
We'd love to.
Brian Nordella, you guys are my absolute heroes.
He's in from California.
Watching in Cali right now. I love it. Welcome to the show, Brian. Okay, I'm going to throw this to you here. Chris Long, Waterboys.
Yes.
You went on a bit of an adventure, my friend. Put that adventure in perspective. Leave out no details.
All right. So, yes, in 2018, I hiked. 2017, I was brought onto the Waterboys team. Waterboys, for those that are not aware, is Chris Long's freshwater initiative in Eastern Africa, specifically Tanzania. But this past year, they popped their first well in Kenya. So, multi-country thing over in East Africa. They work with World Serve International that does all the actual digging, building, and whatnot, providing the water. Chris does all the fundraising and getting the brand out there. So I was brought in with his Veterans Initiative.
Thanks to Hunter on that one.
Thanks to Hunter Smith, the champion.
linked
Hunter
that
is
up.
actually the one that connected Chris and I
Okay.
on this one. And he got us involved in the Conquering Kili Foundation, which is Chris's way of reaching out to the veterans, some disabled, some not, and getting them involved in nonprofit work, and then also doing the well work and the fundraising. And that's where we got the bug for fundraising, because we were hustling. That's one thing with anybody that wants to be a nonprofit person in Charlottesville. You got to hustle.
Yeah.
You got to dive for it. But so we did that nonprofit stuff. We actually got to meet Chris for the first time 2 weeks before we went to Africa.
Wow. Tell me about that.
Most unassuming thing I ever would have thought of in my life.
Really?
It was right after he had won with the Eagles.
Okay.
He had won the Super Bowl. 2 weeks later, a week later, he's at Sky Bar. His wife had rented the place out for a party. He invited us out to meet.
Okay.
We show up. We are the smallest people
was all
in
football
the
players.
area.
Yeah. Really?
We walk in, and I text him, and all of a sudden, I see this gigantic man wearing an Austin 316 T-shirt and a hat. Everybody else is suited up and looking great. There's Chris. He's like, "Kerry, right? Yeah. Hey, man." The most genuine,
nice.
loving
Him and
man
his wife
around.
both.
Just good old boy as it gets. Then met him, had a great night. He ended up calling his dad, Howie Long, and it's like, "Hey, I'm here with Kerry," and obviously has no idea who we are. It's like, "Oh, he's climbing the mountain with us." So 2 weeks later, fast forward, we go to Africa, and the trip is actually two parts. So the money we're raising is to build a new well in a community.
Okay.
But people have done that. Waterboys did it a year before as well. So we actually went to the town of Mbuku first, which had gotten their well that year, 6 months prior to us showing up. When we showed up, we were stopped about a quarter mile before the limits of the town, and we were told to get out of our Jeep. We didn't know what was going on. My first time in East Africa. And all of a sudden we get out, we hear chanting, we hear cheering, we see the colors. The local 8 tribes of the Maasai tribe had come together and were throwing a parade for us.
Oh.
And so you have this culture, this beauty of people that just never say die, and they go. So they parade us through town, took us to the school. The school now, that prior to the well being built, only had 100 kids in school. And it wasn't because that was the limit of the capacity, physically. It was because they could only have 100 kids that were healthy enough at a time. By the time the well had been built, that school went up to a populace of 250 because everybody was healthy. That's the power of clean water. That's the power of Waterboys right there. And it was at that moment I got to see, this is what's real. It's not like going and partying and doing something like that. It's if I can hustle, get an extra 5,000, 10,000, I can provide that much more water for somebody. And their life has changed. They are on the path to success.
Most challenging part of that trip for you?
The last day. Last day of the hike. So fast forward that, we actually, we went and climbed Mount Kilimanjaro as well. First, no, it was when I got sick and I scared the heck out of you.
He calls you and he's sick in Africa?
He's sick on Africa on the mountain. So at this point, they're climbing, and he's like, "I'm not going to have any communication. We're not going to be Wi-Fi, anything like that. We're climbing." So I'm like, "Okay." I got a call at 11 midnight, something like that. And he
Your
just says,
time.
my time. Like,
Okay.
So it
I'm
was
sound
like
asleep.
6:30 a.m. my time on day
Yeah.
3.
Okay.
Sound asleep. And he's like, hey. And I just go, who is this? Like, as far as I know, my husband's climbing Mount Kilimanjaro,
Right.
or my fiance at the time, boyfriend at the time.
it was boyfriend.
yeah. And he's like, it's me, and he sounds sick. I'm not doing well. The doctors say I'm fine. And I'm like, he's dying. The only reason they're letting him call, I'm like, how are you calling? Well, they have a sat phone. I'm like, well, then you must be dying. Like, the only reason they give you a phone to call is because you're dying. So yeah, it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, but it was
he was
really,
not
I've been
dying.
sick as a dog the day before, and I'd shot a video for her every day of what was going on, and replaying that video to her later on, I looked like hair of the dog, just horrible. The next one, I'm like, I'm feeling great, and then Chris comes out of his tent, he's like, hey, I've got a sat phone if anybody wants to call their family, so everyone's calling their kids. I'm like, sure, I'll call Colleen. Didn't realize I scared the heck out of her. But there was a point to all those videos, so I was shooting a video every single day.
So that's like your diary.
That was.
Okay. That's
But there was
awesome.
an end goal.
And
Okay.
When we summited, I shot my proposal to her from.
What?
Yeah, so
No way.
I proposed from the top of Mount Kilimanjaro to her.
That's
You
so
did.
badass.
Yeah.
So,
It was pretty neat.
Tell me that story.
so that one was. That was just like I had to get up the mountain. That was where like I was sick. I'm like, I'm gonna turn. I can't turn around.
Was that the hardest thing you've ever done? I mean,
It was challenged.
You've gone to Afghanistan
In Iraq, yeah.
and Iraq.
Physically, consistently, yes.
It was?
Yeah, because you get to a point where, like, on that last day, you're hiking for 8 hours straight to get up to the crest of that mountain. You're going from 15,400 feet to 19,341. And the pressure on your body and the speed we were going at, it's definitely a challenge. It's nothing to take lightly.
Can you put it into perspective into something you've experienced military service-wise?
No.
Really?
Well, it's two different worlds.
Okay.
I never felt like my life was threatened. And I've been in numerous incidents in Iraq and Afghanistan. I'm like, well, I might die. That's cool. But no, like that was just like you dig deep and you just do it. And I did it because I knew what my plan was. My plan, once I land after, like, I want to marry her. I love this woman. She
What
had my back.
motivation?
But that's what got me up the mountain. That's what
Yeah.
got me from like, I'm going to puke my brains out and I'm going to keep going. But yeah, then getting on top of the mountain, you tag that sign, walked off to the edge, looking at like the glaciers. You can see Kenya right there, see all of Tanzania right there. It's like, this is beautiful. It's like, right then, popped out the phone and just shot a video.
Did you do it yourself?
Yeah, so it is self-video.
Okay, okay.
But so then I saved them all,
So badass.
and I had to wait until I got back and wait until I got the picture. Or not the picture, the ring.
Okay.
So an old guest of yours, Nikki Fayol.
Yeah, yeah.
She was my little spy.
Okay.
To where she helped find the ring for us. Came back, found the ring, got it, and then one night, just sitting at the kitchen island, I'm like, hey, all the videos are ready to show you now. And then showed, and then the last one.
Each day leading up to
That is so romantic. So you're sliding through the slideshow, or like on a smart.
Oh, no,
It is,
I'd
yeah.
upload them on my computer.
Okay,
at
so
that
you're on a
point.
computer. Okay, so you're playing each individual video.
Yeah.
And you're doing it kind of like a flip book.
I
So
just
the
like
first
play,
video first.
Yeah, play. Yeah, go through
Okay.
like here's where we're in the villages. Here's the water that we're helping with. Then like day one, here's the pretty stuff. Then here's me sick as a dog.
And then was he like, Colleen, wait, one more? And were you like, come on, I've seen all these already? Or were you like, no, still
no,
into
I mean,
it?
he had him. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really neat to get to see
Okay.
everything. So yeah, I was enjoying all of it, and here's the summit video. I'm like, okay.
I made
And
the mistake of
then,
titling
yeah.
each one. It's like video 1 through 14, and then ultimate finale.
Is that what
So
it
in
was
my
called?
mind, I'm like thinking it's
like
give,
a fireworks show?
I thought I just gave up the ghost on that one right there.
So you're watching this video.
Yeah.
Give me the perspective.
I mean, it was, it was so amazing to see him, and what they were doing, and kind of you could see the transition from everybody day one, like, yeah, we're climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, to day 3 where they're like, oh my God, trudging along, and he's, barely able to breathe, in his video, to the summit video, and yeah, just immediate tears, started crying. That's epic, right?
Then he gets down on one knee.
Yeah, he got down on one knee and
Yeah.
is filming. And
You're a pimp. That's
Yeah.
badass.
I am
right
not.
there.
I'm a lover of this lady.
No, that is a great story right there. So climbing the mountain, was there any point in all where you're like, I'm going to turn back?
No,
Not
was
single.
was not an acceptable outcome.
Yeah.
I was getting to the top.
Because some do, right?
Some do. We actually
Yeah.
had 2 people that had to turn around. Vince Young, former quarterback for Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
He made it actually to the lip of the volcano, so he made it to Gilman's Point. But from Gilman's Point, you still have a 2-hour hike, and that's
He
when
made it till
he made it to the top.
2 hours left.
Yeah.
And then what happened? It was just like
It taxes you because it's your momentum stops because you get to Gilman's Point and then they throw like a celebration right there. So you stop for 15 minutes. You have tea. You have
you
coffee.
lose the adrenaline rush.
Yeah, I felt if we didn't stop, I think if we just kept going, like, cool, this is just a spot. There's a cool rock. Let's go. I think he would have made it. And then we had one other, Doc Jacobs, Marine veteran, Navy corpsman, veteran. He made it to Kibo Huts, which is 15,400 feet. And then he had some issues with his heart and oxygen. So he took himself out. And his readings weren't coming out right. So he stopped right there. But he's going back with this year's team. So he's going to be a team captain leading them up the hill. And I have nothing but positivity to that man. That man's going to make it up this year and just be waving the Waterboys flag like crazy.
Was James King with you?
James King was the year after us.
The year after. Okay, he's a veteran, right?
He is, Marine veteran.
Yeah, rock star too.
Yes, we actually just hung out this past weekend for a Waterboys event. Another Marine veteran, Kevin Blanchard, he's going up with the Waterboys crew this coming year as well. Cool. So it's just a great, aside from the military, I think the Army, Marine battle back and forth, but the brotherhood of service.
Yeah.
James and I become great friends. Kevin and I become great friends. So we're military brothers, but we're Waterboys brothers as well. And seeing that that's that great group of veterans that I love seeing, is those veterans that they gave, and now they're trying to find ways locally, nationally, internationally, ways to still keep giving back.
I love it. Marilyn Brozowski.
Oh, yeah, good job.
I love you guys. You kick ass. And she's got emoji. Give it a like and a share, guys, on any of the pages you're watching. Bellamy Brown, welcome to the program. If you have any comments you'd like to relay to them, please put it in the chat box, and I'll pass it along to them. You're getting some props from Amanda Jean Burns as well.
Oh, Skyline Church. Got to do a quick shout out to them.
Please.
Amanda Jean and her church, Skyline, they came, not to the rescue, but they made it happen with the Operation Detergent Drop. She reached out personally when she saw the Do Good Cville post about what we were doing with the detergent drop. She casually called on Facebook like a day before the event. She's like, hey, what's your goal? I'm like, we're trying to raise $1,000. She's like, okay. Then she's like, yeah, we're going to come and make a donation. Just need to talk to somebody. She shows up as coy, as humble as can be. Where I'm sitting there calling bingo numbers. She just walks up and sets an envelope down. I'm like, okay, thank you. She's like, you probably should check that. So go and pop it up. Skyline Church donated $1,000. Our whole goal. Right there, off the bat.
Really
NBC
nice.
29 was there doing a story.
I remember that.
She denied interview. She didn't want the popularity. She didn't want any of that shine light. She just wanted the mission done. That's what Skyline Church has been doing. We're very proud to have them as a partner. I believe they're going to be working with us for the Winter Wear Drive as well. So, man, Gene, you and your church population, just amazing people, and you are helping the Charlottesville community.
Alicia Franklin giving you love, Angus Arrington, Leah Romero, Kimberly Packett, Frank Rock is really loving what he's hearing right now. Regina,
that's a proud papa.
Crystal Mora, Akia Lindstrom, Andrew Thompson, Tom Lund, Robbie Hall, Ashley Kingsley, Jamie Freeling, Jen, Patty Finley. You are quite a great guy, Kerry. You two are amazing. She just put that in the feed right there. Patty, thank you for watching. One of the
real
things.
Quick.
Yeah, please.
With those names, you're international now.
Oh, yeah?
Aki's over in Tanzania.
And I think that's amazing. And is Patty in Boise, Idaho?
Yes.
Watching in Boise, Idaho. We got DMs coming in right now. You have the mayor of Charlottesville. Kerry wants to know when you're going to actually run for mayor, son. Or your Frank wants to know. Is Frank your dad? Is that right? Am
Frank Rock is.
Yeah. When are you going to run for mayor, Kerry? It's time.
I think that'd actually limit me from the good I could do.
Yeah, I think you probably would. Throw this to you here. One of the things that I love about your events is like you make being charitable and philanthropic and giving back fun. It doesn't have to be stodgy or it doesn't have to be like old school. It could be like tied to having like a beer or two, and I'll give you an opportunity here, bringing a coat you get special new releases
Yeah.
that you can't otherwise find on the menu. Show us yours.
What is it, this one?
Yeah, so we actually have, so the Winter Wear Drive, we're partnering with 3 Notch. They're our new host this year. They are releasing, where do you want me? Let's
Yeah,
just-
right there's good.
right
In
there.
fact, Judah will tell you where to put it. Where should he hold it up, J-Dubs? Go on the 2-shot. Yeah, you hold it up on the 2-shot. We'll see it.
All right. So this is the first time this label has actually ever been seen. The Bourbon Barrel Biggie S'more Stout Rye Barrel Aged. They've never made this before. They had 2 rye barrels available, and when they came to us and offered to host the event, so we want to make you a special beer as well. We're going to make you a special version of our #1 selling beer ever. So you also have Biggie, the traditional Biggie, that's releasing awesome artwork they've done as well. This is releasing on the 16th, this Saturday at 10 a.m.
Nice.
Now, this is available to all the people that are coming to 3 Notch. The rye is only available for purchase to those that donate to the Winter
is
Wear
so cool.
Drive.
That's so cool.
It will be available to the public later on in the week, but if you come to the event, you have the ability to purchase rye for the first time. You also
You have
get
Dave
it-
watching. Dave Warwick was watching.
He's amazing.
hopefully he's not going to
great.
correct me too much, but you also, if you donate, aside from the ability to buy the Bourbon Barrel Rye, you get a ticket for a free appetizer or drink of your choice. So try and just give back, incentivize a little bit.
And if you can't make it, Timberwood Tap House is also taking coats or
Good
winter
Street
wear.
Station.
Yep.
Love what Lynn is doing.
She's amazing.
Over at Timberwood Tap House. Love that spot. Love good beer, big time, just like you do. The mindset of weaving in fun and local and supporting local businesses with doing good for the community. Throw that topic to you guys.
You got this first.
Oh gosh, I think it's important to. That's kind of what it's about, is being local, and so if we can get local businesses to be involved, and I think a lot of the local businesses here want to be involved, which is key and helpful. And so and it just makes it easier. The small business, they may not be able to do the big, massive donation, but they want to be involved and they want to be helping out. And we've had really great success, I think, with more small business than we have with the bigger name,
Because you're dealing with the decision maker.
Yes, because you can get right to the person you need to be talking to. And again, we find most of them want to help the community and, like I said, want to be involved.
Same for you.
I find that making it fun, making it interactive, it's like nonprofits nowadays have to act like a business. You have to offer something that somebody else doesn't. So with our nonprofit works that we do, we try to make it an event that people are going to go to, people are going to have a good time about, they're going to have memories, but whoever's donating, we make it good for them too. We make it so that their brand grows, 3 Notch grows, Blue Ridge Pizza grows, everybody else that has donated and given to us, we make sure that it's a valid give and take. But yeah, you got to offer something that people aren't used to. So when you do, like when Champion helped us out with the initial Waterboys drive we did, Champion helped us raise almost $5,000. And all they did is say, hey, you know what, we'll give you $1 per beer. And people are going to go out to happy hour. People are going to have a good time. If you can integrate those partnerships with things that people are already doing, they're going to feel great just about being themselves. Like, hey, I'm going out to my favorite spot. They're going to invite 5, 6 other people. Like, hey, let's go to Champion. Let's knock this out. And hey, we just donated. And they feel good about them being them. Same thing with 3 Notch and this the donation we're doing. Ishan Gala this Wednesday. Come on out to Random Row. They've got their bingo night. You're going to go play bingo. You're going to have a drink at Random Row, and you're going to help people right there.
Tim Collier, you guys absolutely rock, pun intended. Ashley loves what she's hearing right now. Give it a like, give it a share on any of the streams you're watching. Ray Cadell, thank you for sharing the show. 6 different states watching the program right now. You guys have filled 60 minutes. It's flown by. It's 1:30. You crushed it.
Thanks.
Oh, wow, this is
It did go by fast.
I want to, though, let's plug and let's get the who, what, when, where, why again for Do Good Cville, how we can follow the brand, engage with the brand, support the brand.
So we've got a Facebook page and a website that you can go to. We would appreciate any likes and shares there, definitely, to get involved. We're trying to keep up with posting what we've got going and what we're doing. Winter Wear Drive is the big one coming up.
This Saturday at 3 Notch from 5:30 to 8:30. Bring any lightly loved winter clothing, not just jackets, gloves, mittens, hats, scarves, stuff like that. If you want to get involved, if you want to volunteer, you want to be a part of it, check out dogoodcville.org. We've got a contact page in there. Just shoot us a message. if you got time, money, or just an idea, we'd be happy to talk to you.
Heather Bangley, my best friends. Love you
She's
too.
so great.
You guys are great. Co-founders of Do Good Cville, Colleen Rock and Kerry Rock. A daughter on the way, due in February.
Yep.
Talk to me about that.
Exciting and scary all at the same time.
Yeah, your first.
Yes. Yeah.
Name?
Amelia Jane.
Amelia Jane. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. What's going through your mind first? I'm going to get asked Dad this question too. What's going through your mind?
All the things, everything, right? Are we prepared? Do we have all the stuff that we need? Are we ready for this? All of it, and still trying to find some sense of us, and maintaining our relationship throughout all of this is huge. And then on top of it, do good and making sure that we continue to find ways to stay involved. But I'm very excited to become parents.
You're gonna
see
have an amazing
what
mom.
that brings.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
How about Dad? I have a feeling he's going to have a baseball bat by the door here. By
I
the
think
time
so.
she's
Oh, we had to
16.
talk last night. Like, her first boyfriend, I get to threaten, right?
Yeah, you do. You get to threaten.
It's scary and just, am I going to be good enough for my daughter? Like, am I going to be able to provide the right guidance, protection, whatever she needs, whatever Colleen needs? Like, will I be enough? And that's what's.
It's crazy to even question.
Yeah.
But that's just, honest
Going
answers
through your
and
mind.
whatnot.
Yeah.
It's great. We started reading to her. Dr. Seuss is just universally great. Just been reading books to her since now we understand, like, after 6 months now, she can hear. So she's been bouncing around. She loves the storybooks. So it's going to be a crazy wild ride. And you as a father, there'll be texts where I'm like, am I doing this right? What did you do? I mean, there's numerous
Well,
people.
you're saying all the right things. It is the best, hardest thing ever. My wife, who's watching right now, she is like, she is the sun, and my son and I are kind of planets in her orbit. And without her, we would not have nearly the life we do. She's undoubtedly the foundation. And like when I saw our little boy in the hospital come out of her, it was emotional and invigorating and terrifying and gratifying and just like this gamut of emotions. And then you hold them for the first time, and I can't wait to see you hold your daughter for the first time. I mean, that's going to melt your heart and then some. I mean, you guys are going to be amazing, amazing parents. David Brer. Hi, Kerry and Colleen. It's David. I'm on the internet watching you on the internet. I love you guys. That's what he said.
Hi, Dave.
Sarah
Hey, Davey.
Elizabeth Cron is watching. Heather, you guys will be great parents. They will be great parents. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having
It
us.
was easy.
It was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you kindly. Guys,
great.
we will archive the show in totality for those who are just tuning in on ilovecville.com, so you can watch the show from start to finish. If you prefer podcasts, we'll take the audio before close of business today and turn it into a podcast on iTunes for you to listen to. For 30 days following today, we're going to syndicate the show across the I Love CVille network, which is 17 Facebook pages, 17 Twitter accounts, the third largest Instagram community in Central Virginia, an e-newsletter that goes out to 118,000 inboxes every morning at 11 a.m., and of course on ilovecville.com and on iTunes. We encourage you to follow Do Good Cville ASAP and get involved. And I think Kerry said something really, really important. If you're not deep-pocketed, doesn't mean you can't still contribute for your time or the skill set that you've been blessed with, allocating that skill set to further the message or the brand or whatever charity or nonprofit they're working alongside. We close the program with the same message. We encourage everyone that's watching the show to please embody the golden rule. We don't make it about religion. We just make it about treating the people that you come across in your life how you want to be treated yourself. It's the golden rule. I feel like Charlottesville and Central Virginia and the Commonwealth and the country need the golden rule more than ever. I'm Jerry Miller. It's the I Love CVille Show. Enjoy your afternoon.
Thank you. That was great.
Nice job.
That was fun. Great work. Great work. One more thing. We're just going to take the hero photo. We package it. We'll do it here under this light. You guys did a